Chris. That's all it was, Chris. I don't know when they changed that up and stuff. I don't know.
My stepfather adopted me when I was about 12 or 14. He changed my whole name. Well, they gave me the option to change the whole name. They were going to change the last name. Then they came back and said, you can change your whole name if you want.
Did your stepfather live around here?
They've lived in Lapeer almost the whole life.
What was his name?
Paul Pickett. Paul Pickett.
Bobby?
Paul. P.
I can't.
Yeah.
I can't hear Tom.
It's Paul.
Paul.
Yep.
Don went to Paul. He changed his mind from Don to he went to Paul. I remember him doing that. And why, I don't know. But he did take on the name of Paul. Paul Jones. What happened, he was in Florida. Down there where I get out and this stuff, but he apparently had a driver's license of Paul Jones on that driver's license. He changed his name to Paul Jones. He had that driver's license. At that time, when you first got him, you didn't have to have your picture on. But then you had to have your picture on that driver's license of Paul Jones. I don't know where that stuff went either, Tom. But I do remember that. Him changing his name but Paul Jones. He found that driver's license. He told me in Florida. The name on it was Paul Jones. So when he had that driver's license, and when it come time where he had to put your picture on it, he had his picture on that even. Of Paul Jones, a driver's license. I don't know what become of that neither. But he carried that, used that driver's license, so he changed his name to Paul Jones too. He probably didn't know that, did you? No, he did. Things keep coming back a little bit, Tom. But I don't know if it's good to tell you that, but he did. He did do that. That driver's license, because of that driver's license he found. He couldn't get one because of his drink. So that, where he got that driver's license from was Paul Jones on it. And it was in Florida. But he got that driver's license put in Michigan with his picture on it. With Paul Jones. So I don't know that his name was used at last with that.
Yeah.
Because when he got in that place over Flint, when they first had that stroke, he had all this other stuff with Paul Jones. And they told me with Social Security stuff, by the way, where they can get the money from the government, they said they couldn't come up with a name. What's that? So when he had that stroke, they couldn't come up with the name he was carrying at that time was Paul Jones. He was in that place in Flint under the name Paul Jones, remember down. And they told me through the Social Security stuff, for the records and stuff, for them to get their money, they couldn't come up with it. I said, well, I can't tell you nothing. So how they ever got money with him being there in the hospital over there,
Yeah, that's
Well,
why they
I
shipped
don't
him
know.
off to Vegas.
This was in Flint.
Yeah, I know. They're like, we can't get no money. Let's put him in a car and take him off to Vegas and drop him off.
Yeah, but he changed his name to Paul Jones because of this driver's license he had got. And where he got his head found it. It was one from the name Paul Jones on it in Florida. He brought it up. With it, he changed Michigan driver's license with it. But then when they put the picture on stuff, he had that picture on that driver's license, named Paul Jones. You probably never knew that, but I'm telling you,
Oh,
that
yeah.
he did that. He could do what he wanted to do. He had that kind of a mind. I always read it from Ron. Why you change your name? What do you do now? It's all right there. It's okay. I'm sorry I had to tell you that, Pa.
No, that's good to know.
But it's something that happened that he did change his name to Paul Jones in later years. What he had when he lost Vegas stuff, I would think probably the name Paul Jones. But they didn't use the name Don. They used the name Paul. He got your stuff and his stuff. He got your phone number, only your phone number and his belongings. So we call you. And I told him, he's got a son, he's got a daughter, but where they're at, I do not know. But how he got to Vegas, cracked my mind. I don't know. But he got out there. If he wanted to get out there, he could get out there. But he did, evidently, George's Monday and stuff, life was under Paul Jones. He wouldn't no more came down more.
It's really hard to find anything about him. I've found all kinds of people. There's only two people, Don, and somebody on my mother's side, a grandfather that I think was an orphan. Can't find anything on him other than, before that, like any of his parents. But everybody else, I can find all kinds of people. There's so much information out there, birth certificates, census records. With Don, it's like hardly anything. It's like he's
I don't know.
off the grid.
Later on these years, if he had birth certificate of Paul Jones, I don't know. But when they called me from Vegas, they got Paul out here and he died out here. Paul Jones. I knew when Ted Paul, they didn't use the name Don Moore like I would and everything. That's all I could tell them. That you had a son and you had a daughter, but where they're at, I do not know. So he died out in Vegas. That's where he died.
Okay.
At what funeral home they had him in, I don't know. If I could check out there, you might find.
Yeah, I'll look for both.
Would be under the name Paul Jones.
See if I can find him that way.
I'd possibly use that name, Paul Jones, later in years. Because he did that. He changed it by that driver's license he had found. That's why he changed his name to Paul Jones. Because he couldn't get a driver's license because of the drink. Drinking too much. He couldn't get out.